I am Hans and this is my channel. Thank you guys for watching. Today I've got some stuff that's not exactly good news that we're going to be talking about. I'm going to return my Hero9. Let's go! I got really excited about this camera when I got it. I was so excited about this front-facing screen, and they did so many things right with this big gigantic battery that they put in here and all the promises that they made with all of the boosted stabilization and everything that would work in every single mode of the camera. The lens comes off so you can change this out to the max lens, and that's actually the only footage I've seen come out of this camera that looked halfway decent was when you had the max lens on there. All the 4K stuff, I try to shoot everything in 4K just in case I need to push in or crop or do whatever. It just looks really bad. I've tried so many different things. I've really messed around with this thing and I can't get the settings to look right. And I'm either completely blown out, or I've even had blown out and also I get all this noise. Or it's just a little bit dark and I get just a ton of noise. And I can't quite figure it out. And from what I've heard is if you're just shooting HD, that's not a problem. So if you're just shooting HD on a 5K camera, then you shouldn't have a problem and the boosted modes work really well. But I wanted to shoot 4K on this and I was really excited about having that screen and having this bigger screen here and the longer battery life. But comparing this footage to the footage that I've gotten with the 8, it doesn't compare. When I bought this, I got the SD card, I got the 2 batteries, and I got the little kit with all the mounts and everything. So I'm packing this up and I'm gonna send it back. And I don't wanna say anything negative because I absolutely love my Hero8. It is such a good camera. It works really well. The stabilization on it is just mind-blowing. I wanted to be that excited so badly about this camera and I'm not. I'm very underwhelmed about the whole thing. Even this motion time-lapse thing that they have, I did one of them and I rode the scooter around. It looked really good on a phone, but as soon as you put it onto a big screen or you're watching it on a computer, it just looks terrible. Like it's just really hard to even watch. And so I didn't know what to do, so I tried exporting it in different ways, and I tried to do like a 422 export, seeing if I did like a higher quality would it look better. Nothing made it look better. And especially when I uploaded it to YouTube, then it even looked worse. And it was just, you know, it was a fun video to make and I really enjoyed it. And I think the camera's great, but for what it's promising you and for the scale at which I had set it to make that time lapse, it should have been just crystal clear, sharp, no out of focus. It didn't look out of focus. It just looked really grainy. It just wasn't sharp and it just kind of had some floaty feeling, kind of just noise. There's just lots of noise. So the positive thing about this is that if you are shooting HD and you only need HD, this camera is going to blow people's minds. There's no doubt about that. If you have the max lens on this thing and you're shooting with the max lens, it will blow your mind. And that would be another option. I could get the max lens and just continue shooting with it and it would work great. I personally, for what I'm using it for, I don't like the fisheye look, but if you're an action sports guy and you're out jumping off of cliffs on your skis or on your motorcycle or whatever, it's a great option. And that thing looks really, really good. And I'm excited to see what they come up with around this. Changing out the lenses, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of options out there. And I know GoPro is not gonna have a problem figuring this out. And it could be a firmware upgrade or whatever comes in the future, or maybe the next camera from this one will get figured out. From what I understand, talking to some GoPro people, that this camera is brand new. Everything about this camera internally is a brand new camera. From the sensor to the chips to everything. They didn't just do like a Hero 5 to a 6 to a 7, where they all were kind of the same camera. They were just trying to improve a little bit in the internals and do some, the external was the same on all 3 of those cameras. Hero 8 kind of was like the Hero 7 still. They just made it a little bit bigger, and they used a lot of the same technology. On this one, they were trying to really push the limits, and they might be able to fix it with the firmware update, but this one I feel just isn't quite as solid. I hear people talking about the pumping focus, and that shouldn't even be an issue with this camera. I think that their next version, or maybe they'll be able to fix this version, but I just don't have time to mess around with it. When I'm out doing my videos, doing stuff for my channel, I kind of just need it to work. The other thing that happened is I was filming with this. I went out and I was doing some test clips. I came back in to look at them and there was nothing on the SD card. Okay, so the weirdest thing is I came out to do this test and see if this would work very well. And here the Media Mod microphone, which I'm doing right now, I went back in to listen to it and none of the clips that I recorded. I thought I was recording. It looks like there's a time code here. I've been recording for 30 seconds and none of my clips were there. That was really troubling in my head. If I went out and I shot something that was like, okay, cool, I got this sequence of videos, I need to go get those put together. And especially if I was traveling or something, or I went to a place that I really only had one chance to get the shot and get it done, that could have been devastating. I was just out in front of my house doing some test shots, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And I have heard other people say the same thing. Like, I got back and those clips just weren't there. I hope that they can get it worked out. I hope they can fix it. But like I said, I just don't have time to fuss around with it. I don't have time to go, let's see, if we change every one of the settings to this and this and this, is that gonna fix my noise? Is that gonna fix the bright just blowing out my skin and turning me completely white in the harsh sun? I shouldn't have to adjust that. That should be inside the camera saying, oh, I mean, our technology is there. All the other cameras that we use right now say, oh, okay, it's really bright. Let's bring down the exposure a little bit and make it balance a little bit better. For the time being, I'm just gonna say goodbye to this camera. And maybe I'll get another one in the future, but my Hero 8, again, is just so good. I love the Hero 8, it is so amazing. They promised a lot of stuff with the Hero 7, and I was so excited about that, but I tried it, I tested it, and it was not what they said it was. The Hero 8 is what they wanted the Hero 7 to be. It really does a really good job with stabilization, shooting that 4K, making it look really sharp and crisp. And I'm not doing crazy action sports stuff. I'm just kind of using it to do landscape stuff or doing selfie stuff if I'm talking about something and I just need to do a run and gun thing, or if I'm driving. And it does a really good job. And I've tried it with this and it's not the same. It just is not the same. I'll be looking at this front screen as I'm talking or doing whatever. I'm like, man, am I really that blown out? Is that like really what this is gonna look like when I'm done with this shot? And I'll take it back in and look at it, and sure enough, it's just like I'm blowing out. So the last couple times I've gone out to shoot, I haven't even taken this with me. And so I was questioning myself today, and I said, why do you have that camera if you're not gonna use it? You should send it back, because it's only been 30 days since you bought it, and they'll take it back. I could just have a bad camera. I do have a friend that has a GoPro 9 as well, and we've been kind of comparing notes, and he called me the other day and he said, hey, how is that camera working out for you? And he seemed kind of excited, like maybe he had found like the secret sauce, like the settings that were gonna make this thing look better and work better. And I was like, man, I gotta tell you, everything that I shoot with this thing just looks terrible. I can't use any of it. And I had to go to a shoot today and I grabbed my 8 just because I knew it would work. And he's like, I'm so glad that I'm not the only one. We're both shooting totally different things, but we're having the same problems. And I've even seen people that have done reviews that are like, oh yeah, this is the best vlogging camera. And you watch those videos and you look around the edges of that video as they're moving around, and they stay fairly sharp in the image, but it's almost just like there's this fractal noise going on, like in leaves, and you know, in just even in like darker areas, you'll see like this block of like grain, and it's just really, really strange. I can't explain it because I'm not an engineer. All I know how to do is hit the record button, and I know a little bit about the menu on this thing because I have messed around with this quite a bit to get it to try to work. And I was hoping that they were gonna just be awesome videos. I was hoping that this camera was gonna be an awesome camera, and it just isn't, in my opinion. And I'm sorry that I made some videos that encourage people to buy them. I just hope that you guys didn't go out and buy one because of the review that I did. And I'm just letting you know that I am returning mine, and I'm a little disappointed. But I do have my Hero 8, so it's not all bad. The thing that was working before is still working, and I can just carry on with my life. So we're gonna just put all this stuff back in a box, send it back, and be done with it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If you like this kind of content, please hit the subscribe button, hit that bell button, and you will see me in the next video.